All right. Welcome to the sixth video in the Captivate tutorial series. Today we're talking about MIDI controllers. MIDI controllers are a great option for Captivate because when you're in a live scenario, you don't want to have to go through the UI and select scenes manually. It's really great to have a little controller. You can just press buttons and have your scenes select automatically and move knobs and sliders. You don't have to go through the UI. So to connect MIDI controllers, you click on the serial button up here. This is the same button you go to connect your DMX device. And you can see here, I've got actually two MIDI controllers. I got my DJ controller, which I actually don't want Captivate to listen to. So I'm specifically not going to enable that. But then on my right, I have a Arturia Mini Lab, which is a little mini piano that works really well with Captivate. So it's got a couple pads, it's got some knobs, it's got a piano roll. So I'm going to enable that. And you'll notice when I enable it, I get a little MIDI map button. So when I turn that on, it kind of turns Captivate into MIDI listen mode. So right now, Captivate is listening for MIDI so that it can know what to map things to. So if I click on the master slider here and then move a slider on my MIDI controller, it automatically maps to it. And I can even do map a few buttons here to different scenes. And just like that, Captivate, I can control scenes, not hands-free, but without interacting with the computer at all. I can just press my MIDI controls. And so anyways, I'm going to go through and get the rest of these. Actually, I'm going to start a little bit lower. All right. And so just like that, we have a bunch of buttons mapped to our MIDI. I can now cycle through, and it's really cool. I mean, you can go really quick. You can almost play your lights like an instrument at this point. And at this point, I'm going to get into a little bit on, I think, like Captivate best practices. So you can really organize these light scenes however you want. But I've found the way that works best for me is to organize them from the least epic to the most epic. And so Captivate gives you a couple tools to help you do that. It's pretty common to create a new scene down here, and you maybe assign it this epicness, and you don't want to have to move it back into place yourself. And so you can actually click on this button up here, and Captivate will automatically sort those scenes for you. And so it finds it out exactly where it should go. And if another way of doing this, you might decide as you're moving around that maybe this scene isn't as intense as you thought, so you might want to move it further down here. And then maybe this scene is a little too intense, so you want to move it up a little bit. And then at this point, you don't want to have to go and like reorganize all of the epicness for the scenes. So Captivate has a nice little auto epicness feature, which is going to take every scene where it's at, and it's just going to increment the epicness from low to high, top to bottom. So you notice that's what kind of creates this really nice color gradient from top to bottom, from the least epic scenes to the most epic scenes. And if anything ever happens that you didn't mean to do, don't forget we got Control Z. You've got undo buttons here, so you can undo and redo those things if you ever accidentally click the wrong button. But I found this works really well, keeping things from a low epicness to a high epicness, because then again I can go through my MIDI controller and just it's really easy to remember. I don't even have to know exactly what scene I'm playing. I can just be like, hey, I want to do an epic scene right now. I want to do a chill scene right now. And it kind of just works. And it's also great if you have like a friend who wants to come help you out, or you just kind of want to put a MIDI controller on the outside of the DJ booth at a party and have people play with it. It's really easy to teach. Just left side is more chill, right side is more epic. So it tends to work out pretty well in that way. But we're excited to see all the ways that other people decide to organize their scenes. So let us know, and as always, tell us any future ideas that you have to help you organize your scenes. And also, since we've got this auto scene going thing here, I find that in a live scenario, the way that I like to use auto scene is I'll leave it on just like a low epicness, so that Captivate is automatically choosing very chill scenes. And then when I want to like strobe everything, make it go crazy, I can choose to do that. But it's not like Captivate's not going to automatically play the crazy scenes for me. So that way, when the beat drops, I can do this, and then I can go back to a chill scene. And I know that Captivate's going to kind of just like keep it somewhere in the chill side of the spectrum in the meantime until I choose to go big with it. And also, one last thing on kind of these scenes in the auto selection, you'll notice that a couple of these scenes have this like do not enter button enabled. So if I click that, it actually prevents if I enable that, it prevents that scene from being selected for my auto scene, because I don't ever actually want Captivate to turn the lights off, but I might want to do that myself. So this way I can tell Captivate to turn everything off, but it's never going to just shut the lights down in the middle of a show. And the same goes for the opposite end of the spectrum. If I have the really intense scenes playing automatically, I don't want Captivate to select the strobe, or I might not want Captivate to select the strobes. So that's why I've disabled them from auto select. And that way I can strobe when I want to, but Captivate's never going to do that for me and kind of like interrupt the show at the wrong time. So anyways, those are just a few more tools to help you organize your scenes and hopefully create the best setup for your show. Thanks. So that's the last video in the series thus far. Thanks so much for sticking it through. I hope these were helpful and enjoyable. And I hope you enjoy Captivate. Continue to let us know your thoughts and any feature ideas or requests. And we're excited to hear from you. Go make something awesome.